we're just about to jump live into the knife round. Winner of this, of course, will play CT. Let's see who gets CT start. Yep, I think Citrix Ghost has a point. Whoever gets CT side first could definitely edge in their favour if they can rack up a good 10, 11, maybe even 12 rounds. I'd say this is more important for Publiclir to win this knife round than CPLAY though, because CPLAY have a strong CT and T side. I think Publiclir are mainly a CT side on this map, from what I've seen anyway. So this could prove to be a pretty important map here. And even though Zanzi just got double teamed, he still manages to come out swinging and get himself a kill. It's all down onto Zita in a 1v3, and he is going to get himself shanked, bruv, by Berry in the end there with Zanzi. And they pick up the knife round, so they will be starting CT, and that is the first bad news for Publiclir, who are going to have to rack some rounds up on the T side. Kopilem, I know I'm pronouncing that name wrong. It looks like it's a Polish name, and I suck pronouncing Polish words. I wouldn't necessarily say that CPLAY is bad on Inferno, but they're definitely shaky. They're definitely not as confident as they are on maps like Overpass and Cobblestone. So I see where you're coming from here, and I think you have the same idea as me, that if this does go down to a third map, that Publiclir will probably win it. My problem is that I think CPLAY are going to take this one, and Publiclir are not going to be able to get themselves on Inferno. And yes, Mr. Lego, I'm going to be solo casting both best of threes. Who won the first map? First map was won by CPLAY, 16-9 in the end. Although that's a tiny bit deceptive, because at one point it had the look of 16-4, 16-6, and on CT side, Publiclir managed to rack themselves up a few rounds here and there. So it could have been a lot worse for Publiclir, but regardless, they are going to be starting things off with a 1-for-1 trade. Make that a 2-for-1. Nice play from Dominate. Now CTs are left to sweat a tiny bit here and rotate. You can see that Berry is moving on towards B. Zita's going to get caught from behind if he's not careful. They're being tagged up from Hulse, but maybe gave his position away too early. Shot prematurely. In doing so, you can see the terrorists though are caught in two minds. Even though they have a player advantage and they know where at least one of these are, I'd like to see them just force in on a site and get that bomb down, but they're playing this one so slowly. And they're giving the CTs a chance, but there is Quicks with the headshot on the Glock into the forehead of Berry, and now it's all on Muff and Holst, who is still behind. He gets the first one, but he's in a 1 versus 3, and he gets shut down. Nicely done by Publiclir, and a much needed round on top of that. So super, super important that Publiclir picked up that pistol for me. So 4 SMGs on the side for Publiclir. They're pushing in to be really aggressively. Muff is there with the P250. Gets the first shot, looking for the second as well. The spray down coming in from Muff, but here comes the MP7 on Quicks. Quick fire double for him. Percy's there with some last second heroics of the CZ, but he's only able to get one. The bomb will be planted now from Hatchet, and lots of utility is going to choke out the CTs. They're unable to get on the site. The other problem now for Percy is he's gone through a lot of those CZ bullets, only has 7 remaining. Of course, only start with 24 in total. And yeah, he does get taken down all on Zanzir. He is the AWP extraordinaire. Is he going to be able to pull out a sick play with the scout as well? Probably not. That smoke is a big face to the desk, and he has to back away. 2 players on 5 HP. We'll just about manage to live the fight for another day. So 2-0, good start from Publiclir. Scout is going to be saved up though from CPLAY, and Zanzir could certainly pull off a couple shots there. So I'm going to take it on from his perspective and see where he runs with it. Doesn't have a fantastic spawn really for anything. He could potentially go for a fountain push, but the deal there is that if you get flashed and grenaded, you're pretty much dead with a scout. So instead, he's going to be opting for upper, maybe dropping and having a quick peek into tunnels. There is going to be a player coming towards him in the form of Quicks with an MP7. Grenade in first, followed by a smoke from Zita. Nope, decides against the smoke, and here comes his teammate of Quicks, checking every corner. There is the push in from Zanzir. The strength in numbers. They do get the return kill, so not too bad actually. They should be able to go ahead and pick up that weapon from the corpse of Quicks. And Zanzir is only down to 65, so that could have gone a whole lot worse for them. The problem now is that they've left A very vulnerable and exploited. And Ajit is going to plant that bomb for toilets, so a tough retake in effect for the Danes if they want to try and pull something off here. That smoke is going to keep Bank isolated just for a few more seconds. Now the crossfire is shaping up nicely for Publiclir. They picked up 2 frags, only 2 more to go. Zanzir on 33 may have half a mind to save again, but he will be able to afford an M4 regardless of what happens going through to the next round. The question is, does he want to run with a scout next round and upgrade to an AWP? That is definitely possible as well, but Dominate is going to answer some questions for us and take them both down. And a 3-0. So 4th round. Are we going to see anything special from CPLAY? No. Looks like it's going to be straight up M4 buys. No defuse kit though on their side. 7-0 Dominate has started extremely well. And the Swede's going to be hoping that he can carry that form on into the second half here. The Publiclir have already got around half the amount of rounds they'd be looking for on the T side of Inferno. 5 or 6 are pretty much good enough in my book on Overpass T side. So they're in a good shape right now. It's really on CPLAY to start putting together some strats. Flashbang over onto long. That's going to give Zanzir the upper hand. I believe that was a flash from the terrorists. I think that was a bit of a dirt play from them. And they are losing this trade battle at 3-2. Dominate's down at 78 HP. He could very well catch his first death. Nice shot in from Zita onto the site. 55 seconds. Zanzir, who was on long, has to back away now and move on to B. But again, look at this. They do have the rotation coming in from Berry. He's on short. Are they going to expect this push through connector? He could be the main player. He could be the playmaker because Dominate with the bombs pushing in. I really like this from Berry. He's playing slow. He's playing the angles and he's going to get rewarded. There's the kill. There's the bomb drop. And now Zita is between a rock and a hard place, and he finds out the hard way that Zanzir is not here to play, and that is CPLAY picking up their first round on the board. Unfortunately from them, no one's able to afford an AWP, so they are going to be running with assault rifles again, but Publiclir are on the brink of an economic downturn, and CPLAY just have to hold fast in this round, and they should be able to get some eco rounds up against the Swedes. But all of that is based on them picking up this round, which is going to be far from easy. AK-47s across the board. Not too many grenades to play with from Publiclir, but they know that CPLAY's economy is not going to be able to support a fantastic buy. I like this defense from CPLAY, playing more deep, disciplined, not giving anything away, stacking up on both sides. Zanzir has a boost. He's going to have quite a lot of information. He does actually drop down there. And still the CTs, they're not giving anything away. They're getting plenty of information. They know it's not either side just yet. It's still a feely out approach, this probing attack from Publiclir. The slow, silent death that will be coming in towards them. But it's Percy that gets the first frag. Speaking of silence, the M4 that rains in. Now Zanzir, oh my goodness, looks round the corner, gets the 2 flank frags and is looking for the 3rd and gets it as well. It could be on for the 4-man because Quicks is on the other side of that wall. Knows the bomb is down. He's going to smoke it off here. Surprisingly, he doesn't go for the defense on the bomb itself, instead going for the bomb site. 25 seconds. Quicks, everything is on him, and he's being flanked now from Muff. 20 seconds, and he is going to fall down. So, I was saying before that CPLAY, if they win that round, Publiclir are going to be in a spot of bother, and yes, it's going to be an eco round for them. Let's see if we find ourselves in a rush scenario. Looks like it is going to be a rush onto B from Publiclir, upgrading their weapons. But you can see here, upgrading their pistols I should say, but you can see that Holst jumped up and he did get a lot of information, which allows the CTs to quickly rotate round and just get the spray down. And there we go. In a matter of seconds, 2 kills for Muff, 2 kills for Berry. I believe the last one was from Holst, I'm not entirely sure, but it's 3-3 anyway. And our Publiclir are back on an AK buy. There's not too much to talk about in terms of analysis for this map so far. It's just a case of we've got past the early stages where Publiclir win the pistol, they get the next 2. We've had CPLAY come back and win the assault rifle. This is the round that's really going to start to tell the story of how this first half is going to play out. So far the tactics from Publiclir have been slow, they've been steady, they've been probing rather than set plays, rather than all-out rushes. And while that tactic's really good now and again, if you fall back to that default, you run the risk of timing yourself out, and the CT side is playing really, really passive. You can see it, Percy pushing back in and gets seconds. And I believe Publiclir got the first kill or 2 in this round, and then CPLAY just exploded. And Publiclir only have themselves all remaining. Where is he? He's got the bomb and he's moving through bathroom toilets. He's going through the entrance right now. He's got lots of time to play with. But the issue is that he only has himself 1 smoke, so as soon as he throws it off, it's not only going to give his position away, but it's also pretty much going to seal his fate. That flashbang comes over. Percy was jumping over the boxes, caught him out there. There's another flash. He has to turn around and he turns into Zanzi's crosshairs. Look at those flashbangs, they are incredibly potent. This is what I'm talking about. The issue is they're playing too slow and they're allowing the CTs to rotate round. Already we've seen 2 or 3 times Muff getting up through connector round the back of Publiclir in toilets and just ripping them to shreds. And yes, X-Boy, I do play CS, I play a lot of CS. Maybe a bit too much. I love me some CS, casting and playing. So, upgraded pistols for Publiclir. They're rushing through toilets with the Tech 9s. They've got a P250 as well, but they're being sprayed down from Percy. Here we go, more frags for him. It's a 2-for-2 exchange, and they've got themselves an AK on the board, so it's not too bad for Publiclir's perspective. They're expecting to at least get a couple kills, but this could go into much better territory for them. They've lost themselves their 3rd, though. That grenade lands by the feet of Zitta as well, so he's down to 24 HP. The push comes in, Or's being tagged up, both of them are extremely low. They've now got themselves an AWP. But with 50 seconds to go, they can't afford to go and play defensively and try and save these weapons. There's just no point in doing that. Instead, they're going to be looking for frags. Or's going to try and peek across. Percy needs to be careful. It's Berry actually this time. It was Percy in the previous round. Needs to be careful. Jumping up on that box against an AWP, you're almost asking to get sniped. But Holst gets the first, looking for the second as well. Oh, the issue is there that, again, he's worrying about Muff coming up connector, and he's also worrying about the crossfire that's on the site, and they had 40 seconds to save, so... Not a position that I'd personally like to be in, ever. Because they have lost the last 5 rounds in a row, the round loss bonus allows them to dig back into their pockets and pull out some AKs and an AWP. Quicks. Oh my goodness, Hatchet just got completely wrecked off Zanzi. That was such quick play. He got a great spawn, jumps on top of the bins, looks from balloons, wham bam, a good night. And now Publiclir on the back foot again. That grenade comes in. Zeta does get a nice entry frag just beforehand though. Onto Berry, who I believe pulled the grenade out. But at the risk of sounding like a broken record here, Publiclir, they're not doing anything particularly special. And again, look at this. Percy is now the player who's managed to get himself all the way round the back. And he could start to flank in. Maybe he's not going to be required because Holster's gone in for 2 frags of his own. The bomb's dropped on short. Zanzi is there with the AWP. And he makes short work of Zitta. Grenade banks off the pillar. And there is Percy. And this is just constant fast play from CPLAY. I mean, if you didn't know anything about Counter-Strike and you were coming into this, you'd probably think that it was the CTs who were trying to attack this map. Because it's the CTs who've been playing way more aggressively than the terrorists. And it's just a case of the terrorists allowing CPLAY to do this to them. They're playing so slow, but they're not playing slow with information. They're just playing slow in corners and waiting for a set play. They're waiting for a call to be made. And in doing so, the CTs are just like, cool, we're getting so much information ourselves, and we can push up and kill you in the back. Awesome. So there you go, another 2 frags, and they're way back. Where were the 2 frags? T side of connector and fountain. CT's playing so aggressively. And why not? It's working for them. So, even though CPLAY lost the first 3 rounds, it's important to mention that was a pistol followed by 2 pretty much anti-ecos. So it's to be expected. Since then, CPLAY have looked a whole different league of gameplay compared to Publiclir, as they did as well, in fairness, on cash. So this isn't boding well from Publiclir's perspective. Third map is Inferno if we need it. I expect them to win if they can get through to Inferno, but that's a big if right now. Percy on long in a really sneaky position. It's one that a lot of terrorists will not check, because you have to also be very weary of your right hand side. So often you can only check if you smoke or flashbang the other side, and that's the other issue, that if a pop flash comes through, Percy can just have a quick peek, get himself a cheeky frag, and Publiclir fall down once again to a 5-on-2. Smoke onto mid, Percy looking through the smoke, trying to get himself a kill, does get it as well, and now Hatchet with the bomb is way back in playground. He's trying to save the weapon. Here's what I'd like to see from Publiclir, and I'm not really an analyst, I'm more of a play-by-play caster, but these are the kind of things that I'm noticing from them, because it really is samey rounds. I'm getting deja vu pretty much every single round for Publiclir. Try and just execute something onto B, because mid to A, it's just not working. It's too slow. I understand the thought process if you want to get a pick and turn that into rounds, but you're being outclassed. Percy's done this maybe one too many times. He's ate a flashbang, but still gets the kill because they push into his flash with the Tech 9 force buy, and now Zita gets full. What just happened there? Zita got the kill onto Percy. I was not expecting that. I was going to say he got forced back and then just rings out with the Tech 9 against the M4 and somehow gets the kill. So, not a bad exchange overall for Publiclir, but again, it's the rounds that are issuing them, and Zanzi just spins around, and Quicks tried his best with the Tech 9, but just simply not good enough there on the occasion. To execute something fast, because again, Muff is thinking about this rotation through connector. Zanzi is fending them off onto A right now, pulls out the CZ, the smart play, gets the frag onto Orp, and now last is Zita, and this could be the 4-man, and indeed it will be from Zanzi with the CZ frags at the end there. 8-3, and yes, it was an eco from Publiclir with a couple of Tech 9 Kevlars thrown in the mix. But still, I'm not seeing anything from the Swedes that gives me hope that they're going to pick up any more rounds in this half, and that sounds very pessimistic and very negative, but I've got to call it the way I see it. Right, this time around it looks like it's going to be a B push through connector, through tunnels. They've been held off once again with these smokes. Flashbangs as well, keeping them in position. You can see that CPLAY are making the most of this map as well. Like on B, they haven't really been attacked on B, but they're constantly jumping over the walls and having a quick peek, making sure no terrorists are just sneaking in towards short end of B or through connector. And in doing so, it allows the other CTs to start to push. And again, look at Percy's position on the board. He's back towards balloons. He could easily get down connector when this force play comes in. And even if the terrorists do come out better in these exchanges, Percy is going to be in such a good place to clean things up. It's gone to a 3-on-2. That's a nice entry frag from Quicks, though, all things considered. But look at the HP, and that's the play I was talking about, that Percy can just pop down any time he chooses, get an easy frag, and turn it back in the CT's favour. Quicks in a 1v2, 30 seconds remaining, 9 HP, but he doesn't have the bomb in hand and 3 frags to his name, so he'll be feeling pretty confident right now. The issue is, pretty much a gust of wind will take him down. So let's take it on board with him. 18 seconds, he's rushing straight to A. He may be able to get a plant down. That smoke is going to give away where he's pushing. I like this as well, you know. He's going for the kill and then the plant afterwards, but he misses the kill. That could be crucial. Oh dear, Quicks. Oh dear. As soon as I saw Zanzi come up, I'm like, okay, Quicks has got the kill. He's got the plant. It's unlikely he'll clutch a 1v1, but he's given himself every opportunity to do so. Then he whiffs the shot, and well, it's 9-3. With now a double AWP set up for CPLAY. And again, Overpass is a map where this is very viable as a choice. And Zanzir, one of the aforementioned AWPers, has opened his account here. And yep, Berry goes for the boost and he gets punished. There's Zanzir again for his second frag. Ooh, Quicks through the smoke. On to Muff, trying to have a quick sneaky peek. Zanzir 19 for 3. Percy's on his elite score, 13, 3 and 7. The two top fraggers again, that seems to be a reoccurring theme for CPLAY. Holst is looking up from Pillar, they line up for him, he gets the one kill, tags down, oh that grenade is going to land by his feet and he gets knocked to 18. And again, the hand has been placed firmly in the face of Publiclir, who only have ore now. 18 HP, grenade lands next to him, takes 4 HP only off, but there's Percy again. This CT side, I've got to say, this is one of the better CT sides of setups that I've seen. Like, the amount of rotations that CPLAY get from their CT side is phenomenally good. I reckon if you went back and watched a demo of the CT side from CPLAY, you would find out so many intricate details. It really is quite beautiful to watch. Publiclir though, I mean, have looked a bit poor on T-side. I think it's safe to say that. They haven't really done a great deal. You see here the push out, which is going to be the end of Berry's life. Kind of unneeded. Spray through the connector as well into Zanzir. So that's a couple of gift wrap kills across the Publiclir out of nowhere really, but the CPLAY are coming back with 3 kills, all on Holst. He's been silenced, it's all on Percy. They know this guy's often rotating through connector, and Percy gets so much information here. He just walks through connector, sees the bomb on the ground, and suddenly it goes from a place where you're thinking, okay, it's a 1v2, his chances are limited, so hold on a second. He's got a molly, a grenade, a flash, and a smoke, and 100 HP, and he knows where the bomb is. The only thing working against him is that there's 40 seconds to play with, so he has to be very careful here. Neither terrorist is going for the bomb either. They're both checking all the nooks and crannies, and they don't realise that Percy's there, and Percy's in the perfect position to get this frag onto Zita, but he changes positions at the last second. He was looking at the tunnel, and his spidey senses were tingling, but for the wrong reasons, so he turns to his left to look at short, and gets taken down. And there's me hyping up the 1v2 clutch being real. Ah, the curse of the commentator continues. Publiclir do get their 4th round, they need this 5th. I said before that 5 rounds on T-side is probably going to be enough as long as the CT's solid. So who knows, for all of the lackluster rounds that Publiclir have put out, because remember it was 3-0 and now it's 10-4. So that was 10 rounds in a row for CTs. They could still manage to get a decent-ish half on their T side. That timing, indeed. I think Percy will be sick to his stomach right now. The second he moves, man, that always happens to me in matchmaking. It's such a tilt move for me. Well, it's business as usual for the CPLAY side. They are just wrecking Publiclir. Have lost no players. Hatchet. In a 1 versus 5, of course, no point in trying to save this one. 55 seconds, and more importantly, it's the last round of the half. That grenade could actually land right by him, but no, Hadjit decides to go back into connector. He gets the kill, but nowhere near clean enough. 4 HP now, and 4 players to kill, not likely. And there we go, he gets picked off. 11-4, the halftime scoreline for CPLAY. Which, if memory serves me, was the same halftime score as Cash, I believe. Or was it 10-5? It was similar, anyway. I love this caster, I want to marry him. Let's go, something streams. Let's go. So 19 for 4 on Zanzit, 16 for 8 for Percy, and only Zita has, well, positive KDA, 12 for 12. Here we go, those CPLAY pushing through the tunnels. And Holster is going to get himself the first frag. Here we go, that grenade could do damage. No, everyone just about skimping out the way. Oh, the long range frag. Zanzir on the lurk again, gets himself 2 kills. And Publiclir, I can't stress how important this pistol round was for them. And it looks like it's about to slip through their fingers. 12-4 now. Oh boy. And CPLAY are right on the brink of taking this 2-0. And this is, on paper, a very close game, I would say. I thought this would go into a third map. I thought it'd go into a third map and CPLAY would win the game. This is until we got the veto, of course. When the veto came through, I'm thinking this could go in the third map and I could see Publiclir potentially winning this game, but it's been so one-sided. Both maps have been extremely one-sided in CPLAY's favour. Here comes a rotate from Dominate, trying to channel his inner Percy. He does get one in the back of Zanzir, but is it just a drop in the ocean? Because CPLAY is stacking up, very nicely held from Hadjid, who gets a second kill as well. No, that's it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Regardless, it was 2 kills in a row for the CTs. And now Muff and Berry, they're in a sticky scenario themselves, especially that Dominate is playing this one so smart. He does somewhat jump the gun, but I can understand why with 1 HP, why you'd end up doing that. Now Muff in a good position with the bomb in hand, and suddenly this is turning back in the favour of the Danes. Bomb behind Pillar, Hatchet on 6, Zitta on 58. This is a round that Publiclir would have fancied themselves to pick up once those CZ kills started to come in. The bomb is in a position where CPLAY can easily hold this off the one tap, finishing Zitta off with style. And Hadjit, well, he's got no chance. He needed that first frag to go in his team's favour, and as soon as his teammate died, that pretty much was the end of the round. So now to 18 we go, and it's 13-4 for CPLAY, who now have some AK-47s to play with. Anyone in chat believe? Do you believe Publiclir can bring this back? We did see some heroics on Cash, but they won, I think, 5 rounds in a row. So if they can start that kind of comeback before they get on to 15 rounds behind, then who knows? Maybe they can pull it off. I think Hadjit just pulled off that frag while flashbanged onto Zanzir. I didn't quite catch that, but if he did, that was sensational. Very nicely done, but still, the bomb's getting itself down, and you do have a player in water that could prove to be a bit of a pain in the backside, but he quickly gets dispatched from Percy's AK-47, and there is a spray through the connector, and 14-4, and I'm definitely getting deja vu, because this was the same as Cash. Pretty much round for round the same as Cash. Orp on Zanzir, judging by his spawn, not fantastic. He's not going to be quick peeking anything this round. He's right at the back of the spawn. So it's going to be more of maybe a slower round, looking towards long, looking towards mid. Dominate trying to play aggressively now, taking a leaf out of CPLAY's book of the long push, but all he did was tag up Percy to 48. He'd rather have got that kill. Have the information down, and our CPLAY just backed themselves away. And this is the main difference that you saw between Publiclir on T-side and CPLAY. CPLAY are playing passive, but there's kind of a purpose to their play. They're pushing down long, they're getting information, while the bomb starts to come through mid. And look as well at Muff, who's playing this interference. They didn't really do this on CPLAY. They never really had anyone posing as a threat on B and keeping them guessing, but the fact that Dominate's just peeked out of toilets on long and picked himself up 2 kills pretty much negates Muff's purpose, and the fact he's also died just goes even further in that way. So a very good round for Publiclir in the end. A lot of that comes down to Dominate. He just got 2 kills, but there are 2 huge impact kills. So force buy in for CPLAY, who realised that Publiclir's money isn't too great, but there is lots of weapons on them now with 4 defuse kits. So this is about as healthy as you can be from Publiclir's perspective. The only thing that could potentially be better is an AWP. Look at that boost from Muff. I thought they were going for something crazy there. Instead, they're coming through B. The CT seem caught off guard with this push, but look at how much damage they've inflicted nonetheless, just with grenades. 3 players pretty much just downed as a result of the grenades. They line up for Orr, and he is going to be spraying them. Gets 2 headshots, looking for a third as well. Here comes the Molotov and land by the feet of Berry, who has to turn tail and run towards the tunnels, and he gets picked off from range. And Publiclir, I mean, if ever there's a time to mount a comeback, it's right here, right now for them. If you've just joined us, CPLAY 1 cash 16-9, and if they were to pick up this map, it would be 2-0, and we'd be moving on to the next best of 3. So Publiclir, they are last chance saloon. It's sink or swim, fight or flight. It seems like they're here for a few more rounds yet. P250 upgrade. That's a beautiful flash. Zita should have done better though from that scenario. He's still going to just get the frag while backing away. The fadeaway USP shot is real. And now Berry, it's actually Percy with the deal. I thought it was Berry for a couple seconds there. Does do some work, but it's only the one casualty for Publiclir. And this, if it ends this way, it's a good round for them. They'll be happy with that. 7 rounds on the board. Right, back to another AK round, back to another buy-up round from CPLAY. This time the bomb is heading towards B. First time that we've really seen that, barring the pistol round. You can see here that Percy is playing the camping role. Gets one, wasn't expecting a second player. And they lost the element of surprise there, peeking out with a second player, and that was, I believe, Hatchet, who just got a couple bullets to his chest for his troubles. So CPLAY get the better of that exchange, and now can keep the CTs off guard, pushing towards connector and through mid. Bomb in the hands of Berry, moving in. Quicks peeks out the smoke, gets a kill. He's down to 7, gets sprayed down from Zanzir. Meanwhile, Hadget on long. This is an important frag, and he gets it for his team, but he gets forced in himself from toilets while he's reloading. So this is the key thing about terrorists. If you lose a player, you have to trade out the kill. You have to answer the kill. You can't afford to go one without answering back. And in fairness, that's what CPLAY have been doing. Smoke lands on truck. There was a Molotov thrown out just beforehand from Zita, but they're going to be pushing through it regardless. Berry going for that plant through the smoke. That's incredibly cheeky, and it's going to pay off for him as well. And he manages to get away. Nobody sprays through. And CPLAY really do steal away a plant out of thin air. Now Zita has to go walkies. The flashbang is landed. They're making noise. He knows there's a player around him in close enough vicinity, and they get the kill and take it to 15-7. And CPLAY are on the brink of rounding up this BO2 in quick fashion. Publiclir do have the funds to make a go of this one. They're going to have assault rifles across the board with an open play as well, but the issue is 8 rounds in a row just to take it to overtime, which is very similar again to Cash, and they were unable to pull it off then. Yes, Aran Halati. It is 1-0 to CPLAY. It's on the screen, guys, above the CT players. You can see there a lovely overlay made by Ruben. But CPLAY are looking to take this to 2-0. They've picked up the first 2 frags. Hadjid and Zita are both biting the dust. It's all on or Dominate and Quicks. The AWP's still in play. There's a couple of saving graces for Publiclir, but not too many. And they're going to have to cash a couple of these in soon. There we go, double spray down for Orr. Could be the moment where Publiclir start to bounce back. That could put some inspiration for them. And a third kill as well. The bomb's been dropped in a horrible spot. He gets caught with the Molotov out, looking for that next kill, but not able to land it. And now Dominate is going to have to use the Dragon Law Khaleesi, as it's called. I see what he did there. It's a devastatingly strong effect, 38 seconds. Both players are tagged, both players are fairly low, and he's landed that first shot. He's given his position away, goes for a re-peek, misses the shot, but so does Holst. It's down to this, the full plant is coming in, there's no grenades for Dominate, he has to land this shot, and he runs out into the crosshairs, and CPLAY pick up the second map in style, 16-7, 16-9, and they are deserved winners here of the CS Arena Showdown Invitational Best of 3. They have another day of action for them to come up, but that is going to secure them through to the finals, I believe. And Publiclir are going to face off against the winner of Infused and LDLC White, which will be coming up very shortly. Ruben, just to double check before I do sign things off here, how long until that match starts? We need to check with admin. So what we'll do, guys, we'll go to a break now, and what I'll end up doing is giving you an update as soon as we find out, so you guys know how long you have until the next BO3 starts. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in just a few moments.